Good afternoon, children. The last class we discussed about atoms and molecules. We get a clear idea about atom. What is an atom? It is the building block of all materials, all substance in the universe. It is a building block of all materials, all substance in the universe. As well as atoms are indivisible. It cannot be further divided into smaller particles. So, we can get a clear idea about the atoms of the same element are alike, and it is different from the other substances. We also learned that we are very, very small. We cannot see it with our naked eye or with a powerful microscope. We also learned that the atomic radii can be measured by using the unit nanometer. The radii of an atom can be measured using the scale. It's known as nanometer. Then, according to Darwin's theory, every atom has a unit mass. It cannot be seen by a naked eye. So, how we can measure or weigh or calculate the mass of an atom? A standard unit is taken for measuring the mass of an atom. It is known as atomic mass unit, AMU. The mass of an atom can be measured by using the unit atomic mass unit. In 1961, for measuring the masses of atoms, carbon-12 is taken as the standard reference. Carbon-12. All the masses of other atoms or the elements we compare to the mass of carbon-12. Then can you give a definition to the atomic mass unit? Atomic mass unit is a mass unit equal to exactly 1/12th mass of a carbon-12 atom. It is a mass unit exactly equal to the 1/12th mass of a carbon-12 atom, because carbon-12 is taken as the basic standard for the reference, because it is the only isotope which found in large quantity it is the purest form of isotope which found in large quantity in the unit. So, carbon-12 is taken as the basis of atomic mass unit. Now, we are going to study about how do these atoms exist. How do these atoms exist? Last class I already said to you that there are 118 elements. There are 118 elements. Therefore, in the universe, it was already discovered and its existence also approved by the IUPAC. Do you know the full form of IUPAC? International Union for Pure and Applied Chemistry. This organization approved the existence of 118 elements. So, there are 118 types of atoms. 118 118 type of atoms. The elements discovered more than 118, but the UPSC approved only 118 elements. It is a world chemistry organization. If an element is discovered by any scientist in any corner of the world, then it must be approved by the IUPAC. Then its existence can be came to study by our education institutions or research labs. This institute, that is International Union for Bio and Applicators. Now we are discussing about there are 118 elements, so there are 118 type of atoms. The whole universe, the different kinds of the core and core number of substances, materials, matters are built up by these 118 type atoms. The whole substance, water, oil and all material, the whole materials in the universe are built up by only by rearranging these 118 type of atoms. Can I give an example? For example, how many letters are the English alphabet? How many letters are in the English alphabet? You know, it is 26. Using these 26 alphabets, there are innumerable number of English words. Using these 26 English letters, there are innumerable number of English words. They were using the English language all over the world. These all the words are made by using the 26 letters of English alphabet. Like the whole substance, the whole materials, the whole matters present in the universe are built up by this 180 type of atoms. Now, how do these atoms exist? That means, how do these atoms exist? That means it exists independently, single atoms, or combined state, or they are mixed together. Almost all the atoms are very reactive. Almost all the atoms are very reactive. So they do not find in the free state in the universe. Almost all the elements are very reactive and they are not found in the free state in the universe. But there are some exceptions. What are the exceptions? Almost, I said to you that almost all the elements are very reactive. So their atoms are not found in the free state. But there are some elements, they are not reactive. They are inactive. Such atoms of the elements are found in the free state. For example, inert gases. Inert gases. What are the inert gases? Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. These inert gases, the atoms of these inert gases are found in the free state in the universe. Similarly, certain non-reactive metals like gold, platinum are also found in the free state. All other elements, that means more than 100 elements, the atoms of more than 100 elements are now found in the combined state, not in the free state. So, you must remember which elements are, the atoms of which elements are found in the free state. The only inert gases. Why they call them inert gases? They do not combine. They have completely filled shells, completely filled octet. So they do not take part in chemical reaction. They are inactive. They are found in the free state. All other elements, more than 100 elements, are found only in the combined state. How do atoms exist? Most of the atoms exist in the combined state. Only a few atoms, like inert gases, are only seen in the free state. All others are found in the combined state. Then, which are the inert gases? Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon are the inert gases. Why they are found in free state? Elements, the atoms of the elements combined to form compounds to attain 8 electrons in the outer shell. You can study in detail in the higher classes. So, at present, the inert gases are already completely filled shells, except helium. Helium has only one shell, K shell, it has also 2 electrons, it has also filled shell. So, they do not take a chemical reaction. Now, we go to the next topic, molecule. What's a molecule? What's a molecule? Atoms combined to form molecules. We have studied about atoms. The first thing we can came to your mind is when you hear the word atoms, what is it? The smallest indivisible particle of a substance. In one word, can a definition to the atoms. The first class, I show you that a paper strip is cut, divided, cut into the scissor, and at the final we get a fine point, a minute paper point that cannot be divided, that cannot be cut with the scissor. Then we call it, this is the smallest particle that cannot be divided further, is called an atom. So, when you hear atom, you remember two things. What are they? It is the smallest indivisible particle of a substance. It cannot be, atoms cannot be divided. Then it is the building block of all the materials present in the universe. These atoms combine to form molecule. Then what is a molecule? In general, molecule is a group of 2 or more atoms combined, although they are chemically bonded. 2 or more atoms. Molecule is a group of 2 or more atoms. Then they are chemically combined, chemically bonded. For example, hydrogen. H represents, the previous class I said to that the symbol of an element represents one atom of the element. H represents one hydrogen atom. These H cannot exist as hydrogen atom, a single atom in the universe. Is hydrogen atom on producing? It is at the moment it combines with another hydrogen atom to form a hydrogen molecule. This is hydrogen molecule. This is hydrogen atom. 2 hydrogen atoms combined to form a hydrogen molecule. I say the reason. What is the reason? Hydrogen is a reactive element, so it cannot exist freely in the state. As soon as it produces, it combined with the one hydrogen atom, either it combined with another hydrogen atom or any other element. If this one hydrogen is in contact with the chlorine, it immediately coming from hydrogen chloride. If one hydrogen atom is in contact with an oxygen atom, it combines to form water H2O. So this is hydrogen atom, this is hydrogen molecule. Then what is the molecule? How many atoms here? Any can that this is one hydrogen atom, this is one hydrogen atom. Two hydrogen atom. This is one hydrogen atom and this is one hydrogen atom. H2. This hydrogen atom, it's a group of two or more hydrogen atoms. In the case of hydrogen, two or more hydrogen atoms, they are chemically bound. There is a bond, a link between two hydrogen atoms. Then a hydrogen molecule is produced. Then what can we definition? We can elaborate the definition again. Then what can definition? It's a they are held together by the attractive force. One hydrogen atom, it is chemical bond is formed by the attraction between two hydrogen atoms. This force of attraction between two hydrogen atoms is called a chemical bond. So, a molecule is a group of two or more. In certain cases, there are three or four. A group of three or two or more atoms, they are chemically bonded. They are held together. They are close together by the attractive force. Then, this hydrogen can exist freely in the state. Then we can elaborate the definition of the molecule. The molecule is a smallest particle of a substance which can exist independently, and also it shows the properties of the substance. In the atmosphere, we can see that which is the abundant element in the atmosphere? Nitrogen, 78%. The atmosphere, there is 78% nitrogen, 28% oxygen. Then there is little quantities of what are they? Hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and inert gases are also present in the atmosphere. Therefore, in the atmosphere, we can see which are the elements. The most abundant element is nitrogen. How much? 78%. Then oxygen, 20%. Then less than 2%. Which are the elements? Hydrogen and inert gases. Inert gases means what are inert gases? Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. They are gases. This nitrogen, node of this nitrogen is present. This nitrogen is a node. This nitrogen atom is a nitrogen molecule. It is an oxygen atom, not an oxygen atom. If it is an oxygen atom, it will class 4. If it is an nitrogen atom, it will class N. Then can you point out the difference between atom and a molecule? Can you point out the difference between atom and a molecule? Can you point out the difference? We see that atom is the smallest particle of a substance. The smallest particle of the building block of all materials. The symbol also represents one atom. Then there is a difference between this is nitrogen atom. One difference is this nitrogen atom cannot exist independently in the atmosphere. As soon as nitrogen is formed, it combines with other nitrogen atom formed in to nitrogen molecules. Then, can you say the other property? Can we one more difference? Nitrogen, this nitrogen atom does not show all the properties of a nitrogen gas, but these nitrogen molecules shows the properties of nitrogen gas. Then that is the difference between an atom and an ion. Atom cannot exist freely. Only certain exceptions. What are they? The inert atoms of the elements like inert gases are exist freely in the state. Helium, neon exist freely in this state. Except inert gases, or the elements, atoms of the other elements does not exist freely in the atmosphere or the state. Then the second difference, the atoms there is not compulsory that to show the properties of all the substance of the matter. The molecules must show the properties of the substance. Therefore, in the case of definition of a molecule, there came 2 points. What are the important points of a molecule? Molecules exist freely in the state. Independence, it exists independent in the state. Then, what is the second quality of the molecule? It shows the properties of a substance. The molecule shows the properties of substance, but atoms may or may not be show the properties of a substance. Atom may or may not exist independently. That means may or what's meaning of that may or may not. In the case of certain elements like inert gases, the atoms exist in the independent state. But in the case of reactive elements, atoms cannot exist in the independent state. So what I say, atoms may or may not exist independently in the state. That the second is atoms may or may not show the properties of a substance. Oxygen atom does not the properties of oxygen gas. But oxygen molecule O2 shows properties of oxygen. That's the difference between atom and a molecule. Then we can pass on the next elements. Molecule of elements. How many elements are now at present discovered? 118 elements. 118 elements. So I again and again say to that there are 118 elements. There are 118 atoms. 118 atoms. How many compounds? There are 4 and 4 number of molecules formed by combining these 118 elements. Then we get the atoms combined to form molecule. Then they can combine in 2 types. Atoms combined to form molecules. There are 2 types. What are they? Homoatomic molecules and heteroatomic molecules. What is homoatomic molecules? Homoatomic molecules. Then heteroatomic. What's the homoatomic molecules? In the case of, do you know the meaning of the word homo? While we were studying the previous class, the mixtures are classified into homogeneous and heterogeneous. What's the meaning of homogeneous? The properties are same throughout the substance. The properties are same throughout the substance. That is called homogeneous mixtures. Homogeneous means Like same. Heterogeneous means different. Heterogeneous mixture means the different parts of a mixture shows different properties. The different parts of a mixture shows different properties. Do you understand? Homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous. Sodium chloride solution. Sodium chloride solution. What are the sodium chloride solution? In sodium chloride solution, we can see sodium chloride and water. Therefore, we can call them sodium chloride is a compound, water is another compound. They are mixed together. We get sodium chloride solution. It is a homogeneous mixture. Why we say sodium chloride solution is homogeneous mixture? You can taste it in every part or in every drop taken in a glass. In every part it shows the quality. So it's a homogeneous system. But at the same time, soil, they are soil. In different parts of soil, it shows different properties. So we call them as heterogeneous mixtures. Like here, atoms combined for molecules. These molecules are of two types. What are they? Homoatomic molecules and heteroatomic molecules. What's a homoatomic molecules? Hydrogen combined to form hydrogen molecule. Two hydrogen atoms combined to form hydrogen molecule. Two oxygen combined to form oxygen molecules. Two nitrogen atoms combined to form nitrogen molecules. Two chlorine atoms combined to form chlorine molecules. Here, they all are combined. Hydrogen molecule is a homoatomic, right? Two identical hydrogen atoms combine to form hydrogen molecule. Two identical oxygen atoms combine to form oxygen molecule. Similarly, two identical nitrogen atoms combine to form nitrogen molecule. Therefore, same atoms combine to form molecules is called homoatomic molecules. It is seen only in the case of elements. So, how many homoatomic molecules be seen in the universe? Only 118 homoatomic molecules. If hydrogen combines with oxygen, can you say it is a homoatomic molecule? No. If hydrogen combines with oxygen, we can't say it is homoatomic. Why we call them? It is a heteroatomic molecule. Can you say hydrogen combines with oxygen to form water H2O? It is a heteroatomic molecule. Why is it in a water molecules there are hydrogen atom and oxygen. There are different types of atoms. Hence it is called heteroatomic molecules. We can again first do the homoatomic molecules are again classified into example, helium, neon, argon, they are innate gases, carbon, etc. are called monoatomic molecules. Monoatomic molecules. Monoatomic molecules. Why they are called monoatomic molecules? Their molecules contain to be a single atom. I said to you that in certain kinds of elements, the atoms can also exist in the independent states. For example, inert gas is most example. It can exist in the atoms. Atoms itself shows the properties of the elements, and it can exist in the independent state. So it is called a monoatomic molecule. In the case of inert gases and certain elements like carbon, etc., carbon, sodium, etc., are called monoatomic. But many other mono means one. Di, not the hair dye. Dye 2. Tri 3. Tetra 4. Penta 5. Hexa 6. Hepta 7. Octa 8. Non 9. And 10. This is monoatomic molecules. Then oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, etc. are called diatomic molecules. Why they are called diatomic molecules? They are one molecule of an atom contain two atoms. So they are called diatomic molecules. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen are all called diatomic molecules. Particularly diatomic molecules in a molecule of such elements contain two atoms. Then there is another atom O3. Do you know the name? If two atoms of oxygen are combined, it is known as oxygen atom. If three atoms of oxygen combined, it is known as ozone. What type of atom is this triatomic? This triatomic molecule. Then phosphorus. In a phosphorus molecule, there are 4 atoms combined to the molecule. They are called tetraatomic. But in the case of sulfur, there are 8 atoms. In the sulfur molecules, there are 8 atoms linked to it. They is called polyatomic molecules. Hence, we can again, please be note, the molecules, there are 118 elements. The total number of elements approved by the IUPAC was 118 elements. So there are 118 type of atoms. Out of these 118 elements, there are 118 atoms, at the same time 118 molecules. Molecules of elements. That means we can again consider there are 118 homoatomic molecules. 118 homoatomic molecules. What do you mean homoatomic molecules? Hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, chlorine, sodium, magnesium, calcium, etc. Homoatomic molecules. Homoatomic molecules means they contain only one kind of atoms. These homoatomic molecules are again classified into, what are they? If the molecule of an element contains only a single atom, it is called monoatomic molecules. Monoatomic molecules. If the atom of an element, if the molecule of an element contains two atoms, it is called diatomic molecules. Oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, H2, Cl2, O2, Br2, etc. are called diatomic molecules. If one molecule of an element contains 3 atoms, it is called triatomic molecules. If we can give an example of a triatomic molecule, ozone, O3. 3 oxygen atoms combine to form ozone. If an atom contains 4 atoms, if the molecule of an element contains 4 atoms, that type of are called tetraatomic molecules. If any element, if the molecule of any element contains more than 4 atoms, they are called polyatomic molecules. Can you give an example of a polyatomic molecule? Sulfur. One molecule of sulfur contains 8 atoms. One molecule of sulfur contains 8 atoms. And one molecule of phosphorus contains 4 atoms. So, elements are classified into monoatomic, diatomic, triatomic, tetraatomic, and polyatomic. Then there comes another term, namely atomicity. What is atomicity? Atomicity is the number of atoms present in one molecule of an element. Atomicity is the number of atoms present in one molecule of an element. The atomicity of phosphorus is 4. Why? One molecule of phosphorus contains 4 atoms. So it is called. So its atomicity is 4. What is the atomicity of ozone? 3. Why? One molecule of ozone contains 3 oxygens. So its atomicity is 3. What is the atomicity of chlorine? 2. What is the atomicity of argon? 1. Then can you define the term atomicity? Number of atoms present in one molecule. Number of atoms present in one molecule is known as atomicity. Then we can see these are all what kind? Homoatomic molecules. Then we can pass on to heteroatomic molecules. Here also, in the case of metals like iron, gold, sodium, calcium, potassium, they are metals. They are now classified as monoatomic elements. Why? They have not a simple structure. Their molecules don't have a simple structure. The atoms, molecules have a complicated structure. So, in generally, we classify all the metals as monoatomic molecules. So, we written as magnesium Mg, not Mg2. Calcium Ca, not Ca2. Potassium K, not K2. Sodium Na. Because why? All the metals are considered as monoatomic molecules. Actually, they are monoatomic molecules. Their structure, the atomic structure of the molecule structure is not a simple one. They are complicated. So, generally, for convenience, for writing equations, etc., they are considered as the monoatomic molecules. All metals and inert gases are, always considered as monoatomic molecules. Now, you can pass on to the molecules of a compound. Molecule of a compound. Which is a familiar compound. You have a very time seen, touch. Can you say you are the most familiar compound in your surroundings? The most familiar compound in your surrounding is water. What is chemical formula? H2. How many atoms are there? 2 hydrogen atoms combined to form one oxygen atom to form H2. Its actual, do you know the actual structure? This oxygen atom, it is chemically bonded to 2 hydrogen atoms. This is the actual structure of water molecule. For convenience, the correct structure is HOH. Then for convenience, we always written as H2O. Here, the 2 hydrogen atoms are chemically bonded to the oxygen atoms. The definition of the molecule, we said that 2 or more is a group of 2 or more atoms. How many atoms here? three atoms. Okay, it's a group of atoms, group of two or more atoms. They are chemically bonded. These fours is known as chemically bonded. They are attracted by the force of attraction between the atoms of oxygen and hydrogen. This is called a heteroatomic molecule. Why is it a heteroatomic molecule? There are nitrogen and oxygen. Heteroatomic molecule. They are always combined in a mixed ratio. Can you say the mixed ratio of hydrogen is to oxygen is equal to hydrogen and oxygen combined to form water molecule. How? The atomic weight of hydrogen is 1, 202, oxygen 60. So, total is 80. Can divide it we can again divide it, then it by 2, then we get 1 is to 8. When we divide by 2, we get hydrogen and oxygen combined in a mixed ratio 1 is to 8, then water molecule is formed. If in one molecule of water there are the mass of hydrogen 2 or mass of oxygen 16, then total mass is 18. They are combined ratio 1 is to 8. So this is the realize the molecule of compound. In the case of ammonia, we can write NH3, atomic weight of nitrogen is 14 is to 3. The mass of one hydrogen is 1, therefore 3 hydrogen is equal to 3. Therefore, the molecular formula of ammonia is NH3. They always combine in the ratio of 14 is to 3. They are mass by ratio they combine. These are the water, these are the molecular formula of different substance. Similarly, can you write the molecular formula of any the newer substance found in your kitchen? The most common material which you found in the kitchen is what? Sodium chloride. This is known as common salt. What's the molecular formula? NaCl. Can you say another thing? Sugar. Can you say the molecular formula of sugar? C12H22 O11 is sugar. Similarly, glucose. These are the similarly vinegar. These are the chemicals found in your kitchen. You know, kitchen is the biggest laboratory. Your mother is doing a number of experiments every day by cooking the food. In cooking food, there is chemical change take place. New products are formed. So it's a big laboratory, and every day, from morning till night, number of students were doing knowingly or unknowingly. You don't care for it. So by today onwards, by preparing food, burning gas, LPG or CNG. You must be care and listen to what is happening in their kitchen. We can pass on to the next topic, ions. What's ions? In almost all the cases, elements always combine to form compounds. In most of the cases, metals combined to form metals combined with the non-metals, then a salt is formed. For example, sodium is a metal, it combined with the chlorine, non-metal, to form a salt, sodium chloride. Then sodium chloride is formed. They are charged in the species, but charged. When they dissolve in water, they are split up into sodium ions and chloride ions. These charged species or charged atoms are called ions. Do you know what I say? The previous class we were studying that all the atoms are neutral. Why? Atoms contain protons, electrons and neutrons. Protons carrying a positive charge, electrons carrying a negative charge. Both are equal. Plus 10, positive 10 and negative 10. Protons positive charge, electrons negative charge. Both are same, the subtotal must be 0, so they are neutral. But when they acquire charge, in the case of sodium chloride is taken, what is called being water, what happens? It dissociates into sodium Na positive ions and Cl negative. What happens is, how sodium chloride is formed? One electron is sodium is given to chlorine, and then sodium becomes positive charged sodium ion and chlorine becomes negative charged chloride ion. These atoms having a charge is called, charged species are called ions. There are two types, anions and cations. This sodium ion is positively charged. While electricity is passed through it, it moves towards the opposite, so it is called a cation. Similarly, chloride ion, it moves towards the anode, is known as anion. We came across here 3 points. What are the 3 points? Ion. What's ions? Charged species, charged atoms. Atoms having a charge is known as ions. When does it get charged? The charged species are called ions. Charged atoms are called. In a chemical compound, or salts or acids, base, etc. When dissolves in water, it is split up into positive and negatively charged species. Positive charged species is known as cations and negative charged species is known as anions. Then there is a group of atoms having a charge is known as polyions. It's also called radicals. Radical means a group of atoms having a charge. For example, hydroxide, NaOH, sodium hydroxide, when dissolves in water, it dissolves into sodium Na positive and OH negative. This OH negative is a group. There are 2 atoms. There is, if a single atom acquire a charge, it is known as ion. A group of atoms acquire charge, it is known as polyions or radicals. So today we studied about how do atoms exist. Some atoms exist in the free state, while the others, most of the atoms are found in the combined state. Then what's a molecule? Molecule is the smallest particle of substance which shows the properties of all the substance and independent exist. Then the atoms, elements can be classified into monoatomic, diatomic, triatomic, tetraatomic and polyatomic. Then the molecules of a compound and ions. Ions means charged species. Charged atoms are called ions. If a single atom is charged, it is called ion. If a group of atoms is charged, it is known as polyions. We can study in detail the next class. Let us today wind up our class. We can see these ions and atoms again. The next class. Okay. Thank you all.